Hi and welcome to episode 2 of Sunday Fun Day, and this week we're carrying on with the Grow Your Own for Mental Health theme and how to get started with planting and propagating. You're listening to How to Change Your Life One Step at a Time with me, Katie Woodland. Tune in every week so that you can use tried and tested tips, tricks and hacks to start living the life you want right now. Last week we looked at why gardening and growing your own food can be a great way to help increase your mental resilience and generally feel really good. Now there was also a little shopping list at the end, and this is where we're going to pick up today. Once you've raided the shops for all the seeds you'll need to create your little mentally healthy garden, we need to make sure that they're going to be given the best chance in the world to go from tiny little seeds to fully fledged foods. Now the easiest way to do this is by first planting them into a propagator which you stick on a windowsill somewhere. Now if you're lucky enough to have a greenhouse, then of course you can use that instead, but if you're like me and this is your first year or you're on a tight budget, then inside the house is perfect. Make sure that the windowsill you choose has great access to natural light and isn't too drafty. Use the back of the seed packet as a guide when working out how deep to sow the seeds, as they may all be different depending on which veggies you've gone for. First though, we need to get some of that lovely brown compost into the little propagator pots, and you can use a trowel, but I found it so much easier just to stick my hand in the bag. If you're doing this on the dining room table like I do, just make sure you're looking after your furniture and your carpets. Also, be prepared, it really is messy. So if you've got young kids, get them involved, because we both know that anything muddy and messy is at the top of their to-do list. Plus, it's a great opportunity for you to get some quality time with them and teach them something which they may just help them for the rest of their lives. Some of your seeds are going to germinate, and this is basically the term for the plant going from a seed into a plant really quickly. Now, in fact, I was so shocked that some of mine were poking their leafy little heads through the compost after only a few days. Most, though, need between 14 and 21 days. If you want to be extra clever, you could always group your veggies in the propagator by germination time. This isn't something that I did because I was just so excited to get going. I might, however, do this from now on. Do plant one set of veggies at a time though, as this is going to help you avoid confusion. Once you've got your little seeds into your compost, add a label so you know what it is. This is vital because other than beetroot, which has a beautiful purple stem, they all pretty much look the same. So my sincere apologies to all you farmers or gardening buffs, but to the novice, they really do look alike. If you've got an affinity for ice creams or ice lollies, do keep those sticks because these make excellent labels. If not, you can pick up some lolly sticks really cheap or use the proper gardening ones which have a point on. When you've planted up a whole propagator, you'll need to get out your mini watering can or a jug and give them a good soak. So you shouldn't need to feed them this time unless you've planted them straight into the ground. Now this is absolutely an option, but with the weather we've been having and are set to have for the next few weeks, you may end up very disappointed. So keep your eyes on your seeds so that they don't dry out, but also don't end up getting too wet. If you notice any white fluffy stuff growing, then you may need to take the lid off the propagator and let the compost dry out a little before putting it back on. This is mould and it is totally harmless. You just don't want it to take all the nutrients out of the soil, which means your seeds won't be able to grow. So sometimes this mould can be an indicator that it's a little too cold as well as wet. So I started my own little gardening journal which helps me keep track of how quickly they germinate, which windowsill they were on, and if I noticed any adverse effects. Now, you don't have to do this, but it can become a great little scrapbook, and if you enjoy the process, you can always use it as your very own gardening guidebook next year. Now, there were some plants I realised I could have started off in January, so I was a little bit disappointed. However, next year I am going to be prepared because it's all over my calendar. Right, next week we're going to pick up with safely transplanting your seedlings, so make sure you hit subscribe using the relevant links. Please do leave me a comment to let me know what you think, and if you are a gardening expert, then please also let me know if I've missed out anything important. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon.